As of 1 p.m. today, the Kingdom of Erusia has declared war on the Osean Federation. As soon as the news broke out, enemy aircraft began bombing Osean territory, causing widespread destruction. The Air Defense Force has released a statement saying this violent attack was carried out by drones. They speculate the drones were secretly transported to Osea in shipping containers and launched remotely. The Secretary of the Navy has stated that the enemy was targeting naval ports across the country. According to the Secretary, all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including one still under construction, sustained severe damage in the attacks. We have yet to hear back from the department as to the fate of Osean carriers currently at sea. Hold on. I've just received breaking news. The International Space Elevator, which is being built in southern Erusia, has been seized by the Erusian army. Reports say former President Harling was touring the site at the time, but his current whereabouts are unknown. Our sources in government tell us it was Harling's policies regarding the space elevator that caused economic frictions in the area, and which ultimately led to this war. Located near Erusia, on the continent of Erusia, the space elevator has been under construction for some time now. The Executive Office of the Osean Federation has declared a national state of emergency. They have ordered all its armed forces, including Erusian peacekeepers, to mobilize and make the necessary preparations to launch an immediate counterattack. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is officially at war. Stay tuned for further updates.
Breaking news from ENN. Osea launched an attack on the capital today, striking Farbanti from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II. After a brutal battle, the Erusian Air Force successfully repelled them. During the air raid, the Osean Air Force fired missiles at the city and managed to shoot down a number of Erusian fighters. Some of the disabled planes then crashed into residential areas.
The world was screwed. 20 years ago, the Earth got slammed by an asteroid. Erusia was on the wrong side of the planet and got hit hard. Warmed the Erusian Republic, the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning. That's the war my dad fought and died in. The biggest nations from 2 continents went head-to-head, and the so-called righteous Oseans struck the deal that ended it. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world. They even tried saving the Erusians, still suffering from the disaster. That's how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Erusia, paid for by the Oseans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusia, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusia went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone. The second the declaration hit the news, Erusian forces took control of the space elevator without spilling a single drop of blood. President Harling was touring the elevator when it happened and disappeared. Then, while that was going on, the Erusian ships that were docked all around Osea released a swarm of drone fighters they had hidden on board in containers. No one thought they were capable of doing what they did that day. With pinpoint accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world. Erusia didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer. In case you were wondering, yeah, I survived. I crashed in a bombed-out Osean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye.
has frozen set beliefs of the kingdom of Erusia. Today, Ocean airstrikes have shattered the lives of countless Erusians. Their attacks practically leveled school life. It is heartbreaking.
I was tried, found guilty, and stuffed into a cargo ship. For company, I had some court-martialed soldiers. And remember those mothballed planes I told you about before? They were loaded on the ship, too. We headed off down south for several days, and then swung east. That's how I got here. I was thousands of kilometers from Erusia, on the opposite side of the Yuzian continent. For a port, it was dull as hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats, and the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard. This was a prison. This place looked like a full-on base, but half the tanker trucks were just big balloons, and the runways weren't even paved, just painted on the dirt. The whole place was just one big fat lie. The only reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane. They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape. They found out, and set the dogs on me.
Erusia has made a declaration to the Ocean Federation and all countries on the Yuzian continent stationing the IUN peacekeeping force that we are now at war. Right after the declaration was made, surprise attacks began around the continent that have inflicted major damage to our armed forces. Forces aligned with Erusia are currently appearing throughout Yusia. The combination of these forces has overwhelmed the majority of the continent, and they are now encroaching on us in the east. Additionally, the multinational space elevator has been seized by the Erusian military. After the previous war, the space elevator became both a symbol of peace and a valuable asset in the fight against growing energy concerns. Whoever has control of it will have enormous influence over the entire continent. We cannot turn a blind eye to this critical situation. The Fort Gray's Air Base Squadron has been entered into the order of battle to reclaim the elevator as an advanced element. First, you will attack all hostiles coming in the east of Schofield Plateau to stop any interference with the Allied ground troops. The enemy has deployed several vehicles equipped with anti-air radar along the roads. You are to destroy them. They should not pose much of a threat. However, there is a high likelihood that the attack will draw more enemy air support. If that happens, fight them off swiftly and establish air superiority.
Fatto.
Squadron, sortie,
あ、こんばん
ASAP.
は。やだ。まあ、言おうからもう無理だわ。 ダララデデデデデデデデデデ
Current target is on rails, but there's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry. Destroy the target. But HQ has made it clear that no harm should come to civilians and no damage is to be done to public facilities.
But, any aircraft shot down could land in civilian territory.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days.
Do you have visual on the anti-air radar vehicles? They should be close.
Yep.
Page 2, Box 2. Ground target destroyed.
あ、あれインスタントっていうのがミスったわ、これ。やっぱミスったパターンだよね。
It's popping off now, Trigger. War has officially begun.
ターゲットの声
Target destroyed. 5 to go.
Get the fighters out there. Protect the radar vehicles. They've got their anti-air guns aimed right at us. Federation, being attacked by enemy aircraft.
Target destroyed. 3 to go. Continue to engage at your discretion.
あー、ミス
Enemy
にある。
interceptors inbound. Prepare to engage in 30 seconds.
We'll go. Here they
ない
come.
ないない。
Take them
ない
down.
ないないない。
Okay, recruits. Pay attention to who's on what side. The newest IFF is connected to our entire force via satellites. It's reliable, so trust your radars.
これ中心がね、できないんだ。こ
We're
れ
using the containers now. Those weapons are meant for
パイ
tactical
プできなかった
flexibility.
中心。
2 targets remaining.
Enemy has a radar lock on you. Radar was just about to go online. Push the plan forward too fast. Stage is too far from Allied territory. Trigger, there's one more to go. Breaking to escape
わ、でさ、こんばんは。
Page 2. Missile away. That was the last radar vehicle.
これはマジ
Great
で
work.
神ゲー。
Radar vehicles destroyed, but the interceptor shows no sign of retreating. Take it out.
何すればいいか分かんない。
Continue with the mission. Crush as many as you can.
The base is wrecked. No, they're not linked to the radar vehicle. Launch manually. Trigger the setup. Here's some feedback rules before emergence. Type your manuals in a language we can understand. Clouds don't just affect your field of vision. They also mess with your HUD and radar. The Seekers can sometimes lose their lock-on to their targets, too.
Enemy transports
こ
are
れは
taxiing.
マジで今と
Locked.
期待に影響す
Behind target and ready to attack.
Missile away.
You have nowhere to hide.
る。これやん。
In pursuit.
やだ。
Bandit is in my sights.
やば、俺うま。何よ
Page 2, you're targeted. Box 2, Box 2.
やばば。わかんない。
Bandit is hit. First 6 enemies. Not really good. Column 3, Box 2. Lead aim over clear ground. Column 3, hit the building down.
Golem 1, enemy will crash in a residential
まだ買っ
area.
てないの。
Just worry about
こ
staying
れは買
alive
った方が
for
いいから。
now.
これは絶対当たりね。みんなバカにしすぎてるけど。これは普通に面白い。
That radar was just about to go online. Missile inbound. Dodge.
分かってんじゃん。
Dodged.
うわ、カランティー。
Page 2. Missile launch.
Wait, so you want us to take down the enemy without damaging any public facilities? That's gonna be a circus.
All right. This base is worth destroying.
Why don't they withdraw?
4 targets remaining.
Bring their buddies back from the
まあ
dead?
そうさ。
Column 4, Fox 2. Missile, breaking.
Careful, the enemy has a lock.
ヒットなのか分かんない。って何なのあれ。 だる。
Golem 2, Box 2.
どれ倒すの？
Enemy transport destroyed. There's more. 3 targets remaining.
He dodged it.
目標地上なの？嘘。そうなのこれ。なんかさ、何がターゲットみたいな。これ？え？びっくりした。負けたんかと思って。ああ、そういうことね。これ拡大で今ね。はいはいはい、そういうことですね。あ、早くねあれ。めっちゃ近く早い早いんですけど。あ、間違えた。それは間違えた。間違えた。ちょっと間違えて。それはちょっと起きたわ。え、ナイス。よう分かんなくなったけど。じゃあさ、俺早いのかな、速度。早いぐらい。
Column 1, that doesn't matter. Destroy all enemy fighters and get out. It doesn't matter.
なんかさ、俺多分センスないのかもしれない。このゲームはやば。さっきから外しすぎね、俺。はい、うまい。そんなこと言っても倒していく。そこまで興味あったんだよな。
Shit! I got an enemy in front of me and behind me.
俺は神ゲーだからな。外すの？なんなのあれ。もうちょいさ、長いやつないのかな。意味がわからんって言いなんだけど。
My wings are iced up.
Targeting gun range.
Golem squadron, surround them.
はい、お疲れ。
Firm destroyed. Hell
お疲
yeah.
れます。
Golem squadron, you're not gonna let Mage get all the glory, are ya?
3 enemies to go.
Box 2.
Crap! The aircraft is icing up. I'm getting a warning.
Get out of the clouds, the ice will melt.
よくわかんないところ。てかさ、俺は一番最後だと5だからさ。
That's a miss.
Don't try to read their
わかんない速さが。
I'm glued to this one.
何が正解かわかんないです。え、待って L2 と R2 で9000ができるの？え、どういうこと？待って、どうやってすんの？待って、L2 と R2 で9000ができる？
Golem 2, the enemy's reading. He's mine, he's not getting away. I'm buying dinner for anyone who takes
それは聞いてない。
There's a bar I want to try.
You're doing
待
good.
って、
Just 2 more.
できないんだけど。
Page 2, box 2.
インターに9000ができる？できないんだけど、なんで？
Riding a roller coaster up here. Clouds are screwing up the accuracy.
1 to go. Let's get through this without any
マ
casualties.
ジ？ガチで？俺マシンガン倒すわとか。
Golem 4, box 2.
なんで
So, drones don't feel the G-force, huh?
できるよ今。
Ice formation in the clouds.
お疲れ。
Nice kill, Trigger. Enemy aircraft confirmed down.
嘘。
The skies are clear. Nice work, everyone. Mission complete. RTB.
どういうこと？
No casualties. We couldn't have done any better. Returning to base.
I don't know. Maybe the bandits we took down caused civilian casualties.
どういうこと？
No point arguing. That's how war is these days. You shoot, someone gets killed.
まあ、よう
The
考えて
guys
それ
in
で終わったわ。
charge take care of the rest.
見てよこれ。ててて。
You've given us air superiority by destroying...
いや、面白すぎね、普通に。ヘッドアニメです。
The surprise attacks carried out after the declaration of war saw the peacekeeping forces of various countries, including Oceania, suffer major damage. The ships moored around the space elevator and near Gandar Bay have been hit particularly hard. Numerous ships have been sunk and abandoned. Fortunately, our cutting-edge aircraft carrier Kestrel 2 was at sea, so it was spared from the attack. Kestrel 2 is now preparing to launch another attack against Erusia's capital, Farbanti. The aircraft carrier Vulture also managed to escape Gandar Bay safely. However, it lost all its aircraft, so it's sailing empty. Today, the International Union Peacekeeping Force reclaims its bid to the space elevator. The Fort Gray's Island Air Base Squadron will rendezvous with the carrier Vulture for a joint mission. The first objective will be to seize air superiority in Schoppenberg in order to secure a route for the support squadrons. The enemy maintains air superiority over Schoppenberg, so expect heavy resistance from enemy aircraft. There's more, so listen carefully. Right from the start of the war, the enemy has been deploying drones. They're using a new advanced type of drone. The unmanned airborne aircraft carrier, the Arsenal, carries this new drone. MQ-101. The Ocean Army headed up the development of the massive Arsenal birds and dispatched them to the space elevator to provide support. However, it's been reported that the carriers may have fallen into the hands of the Erusian forces. If that's true, it could be a significant obstacle for us. We need to regain control of the space elevator ASAP. Good luck out there.
任せろ、余裕だわ。余裕のよっちゃんパーリーピーポーね。強化パーツってよくわかんないけど、とりあえずいいや。何これ。まあいいや。ようわからんが、とりあえず開始します。あ、これ使えないの？あ、いや、パルコ使う。
Mage Squadron, aircraft preparations complete.
ポイントみたいなのあんだじゃあ。これ全く見てなかった。超飛ばしちゃった。何これ。
50 meters. Excellent work, Trigger.
Mage Squadron, this is the situation.
そうです
Gollum
け
and
ど
the
多
other
い。
bases squadrons already joined forces and are engaged. You guys will arrive right in the middle of the action. Mage Squadron, eliminate all bandits in the current airspace.
バンデ
We
ィッ
have
ト
the
ってや
upper
つの
hand,
倍
but
数
that doesn't
任
mean
せ
we
ろ。
can ease up. Good luck.
Mage 1, Wilco.
OK。
Mage 1 to Gollum 1, thank your lucky stars. Looking good, Mage Squadron. Keep up that pressure. Trigger time to show the other guys that we can wet wild and do dirty, dirty things. Once you hit one of them, stick to him like glue. Don't let him out of your sights, even in the clouds. And so, your first hunting season begins.
待って、横。そりゃ意味がわからんって言っていい。どうした？あー、やばい。しゃべりゃすぎて難しい。
If you can't evade a missile, use chaff and flares. Your fingers
速度上
should
げて
still
もしかしたら
move
速
even
い
if
の
you're
か
in
も
a
しれない。
9G turn.
まあ知らなかった。お、すげえ。こういうことか。あ、これね。急旋回って。
Four remaining.
出走速度が速すぎて追いつかない。気持ち悪くなってきた、普通になんか。
Three remaining.
Clouds are screwing up the accuracy.
ちょっと時間がある。
Target was not struck.
This one's mine. They won't show up on the radar. Bandits are in the clouds. Looks like they weren't ready for a fight.
Mage 2, you're icing up.
Once the enemy gets behind me, that's your chance to take them out.
Roger that.
Okay.
Nice kill.
One remaining.
上にいるの？もしかして。
radar shows no sign of bandits. You're in the clear.
I haven't even broken a sweat.
They would be crazy to pick a fight with us. A rabid dog would know better.
Missile incoming! Evade! Break! Break!
Wait, what the hell?
Caution! Missile!
Caution! A large aircraft is approaching. All aircraft, stay alert.
ダートみたいな。
We just learned that Eruzia is utilizing the arsenal bird. Those bastards. They had that thing combat ready this whole time.
Enemy has a radar lock.
We're just waiting for mission command.
Break, now!
You'll live through this, Trigger.
Dodging everything I
These guys are definitely a step above the last drones. These guys will go down easy.
All aircraft, no change in game plan. Destroy the arsenal bird.
Golem Squadron, take out Big Baby Huey.
Look at that light from the arsenal bird. What's going on here?
Those damn things have gotten smarter. How many do you think are left?
Enemy's locked on, breaking. They can't get a lock. Skeleton 1, 6, Commander. They got me!
Damn. Skeleton 1 lost. Skeleton 2, take over command.
Gargoyle Squadron, Gargoyle 1. Skeleton Squadron needs help.
Status?
Find the situation.
Enemy too fast, I can't keep up!
We'll pass out some exhaustion before the enemy wears out.
Column 2, missile, evade!
Evading!
Box 2. This is Column 3, Column 2's hit! Status report. Shit, Golem 2, do you copy?
This is Golem 2. Instruments still appear to be functioning okay.
Skeleton 3, break! Break! Missile! We lost another friendly!
Skeleton 3's lost.
Keep coming. What's the plan?
Where's that report? Continue to maintain air superiority.
HQ, what's happening?
Skykeeper, I repeat, maintain air superiority.
How'd that happen?
What the hell? Caution. All aircraft, stay alert.
Get out of there!
Breaking!
Hey! Control ground! I'm breaking off!
Skeleton 2 lost.
We got incoming!
Skeleton Squadron is down. We've had too many losses. All squadrons, command has ordered a complete withdrawal. Leave the operation area immediately.
Brilliant observation. They knew this earlier, more of us would have survived to hear it.
Save your chatter for the debriefing. Golem and Mage Squadron, give our allies some time to escape.
Buko, but Golem 2's hit. Gotta send her back. Let's get dirty, Trigger.
Shoot down those UAVs. Don't let them touch any friendlies.
Golem 2, head back to base.
Gargoyle 1, escort Golem 2.
Continuing the mission. Still got my wings. Trigger doesn't need to go anywhere. I'm back and I...
You won't make any difference up here. Get back to base and cool your head.
Copy that. Returning home.
They're after me.
H2, UAV down. H2, Box 2.
That boy, Mage 2. Just keep firing.
Retreating aircraft. Leave the AO. Allies will hold off pursuit. Golem Squadron, Mage Squadron, hang in there and come back safe.
Don't think, focus. Yowza.
More UAVs spotted. Gargoyle Squadron, they might cut off your retreat.
My status is fine. Affirmative.
This is Gargoyle 1, leaving Operation Airspace with Golem 2.
Retreating aircrafts. Prepare for combat. It's a bogey. Gargoyle 1, Golem 2, engage now. Attack.
One bandit, it's 50-30.
Ammunition Gargoyle 1, caution, missile!
He's fast. It's like he...
Skykeeper, Gargoyle 1 lost.
What the hell? Golem 2, status report.
Okay.
Just talk to me.
I'm against an Su-30. Joint tips. I can't shake it off.
Okay.
It's matching me move for move.
Golem 2, stop dogfighting and run.
Fox 2.
Got one in my sights.
きついね。
I can't shake it. I'm still stocked up. Bring them on. Break it. I can't get them off.
Miss. That's a miss.
嘘。
Golem and Maze Squadron, help us.
Get those UAVs off of friends.
Let Golem and Maze Squadron team let a snail pull through.
Get your asses out.
これやばいんじゃない？
Mage Squadron, you're going toe-to-toe with the UAVs.
だってす
Good
ごいの
work.
かな。
The longer it takes, the worse our odds of getting out of here are. Machines don't get tired.
Stall warning.
Does Maze Squadron still have their hotshot? Then we just might make it out. Don't look back, just have faith. Golem and Maze, we owe you a debt. And we'll pay it.
An ally's hit. Golem and Mage, move in to provide support.
Let's move. They're ours. That's it, Trigger. They're machines. Don't show any mercy. This is getting a little tight.
A few seconds could mean life or death for them. Hurry up. I know. All we can do is fly away as fast as we can.
Mage 2, Fox 2.
H2 is splashed abandoned.
むずいわ。ほんとむずい。弱え。
I'm dead meat. I don't get it. Why isn't it opening fire? I'm scared. I'm scared.
This is not good. Brody, break off.
Mage 2 is taking on multiple UAVs. He's got them at bay. We owe him one. Missile incoming!
That's it, baby. Come to Poppy.
It's got a lock on me.
Bandit is in my sight.
Mage 2, move to support. Other aircraft are in trouble.
ああ、めんどくせえ。
I think.
Mage 2,
わ
you've
し
iced
つった
up.
わしつった。いたいたいた。
Mage 2, provide cover for Allied retreat.
In my sights.
Mage 2, UAV down. Keep it up, buddy.
Fourth-rate aircraft. We'll let you take it easy next time.
まだいんのかよ。だるん。
Break it! I can't get him off!
H2, what are you doing? Shoot those UAVs.
Busted.
H2, missile away.
Missed. Golem 2, what's your status? Status report.
He's a predator. We can eat that.
Golem 2, get a hold of yourself. Golem 2, get away from the enemy.
H2, support! Somebody!
嘘。
Support!
Bandit is down.
Golem 2, lost. Shit. Skykeeper, where's the one that got brownie?
I'm afraid he's long gone by now.
Sorry. Hell of a good job, Mage 2. We want as many guys out here as possible.
I'm grateful you're around.
On his tail.
How can I retreat with the UAV on my tail?
Distract the bandit. Buy your friend some time.
All UAVs have been splashed.
I said what I had to say. About what? Not a girl who'd retreat. Just not in her DNA. That was the right decision at the time. No, I should have never let a fledgling like her out of my reach to begin with.
Golem Squadron, Mage Squadron, withdraw.
Mage 2, we have you on radar. You are cleared for approach. Runway is clear. Mage 2, you are cleared for landing. 3,000 to runway.
あ、着陸するの俺。
Mage 2, lower speed. Mage 2, bank left. 1,500 to runway. Mage 2, lower nose. You're too high. You're past the guidance limit. Make a visual landing. Nicely done, Mage 2. I knew you'd be back. Stand by for further orders. Be ready for your next sortie.
Mage Squadron, this is the situation. Golem and the other bases squadrons already joined forces and are engaged.
Unfortunately, the two-front offensive was a failure. The aircraft carrier-borne, our own, if it, we.
Here he comes. Mihai's looking worse. Thank God he has his granddaughters here to help him out. They're sisters, 15 and 10. Engaging the enemy in combat so we could use his physiological data to improve the drones had always taken a toll on Mihai's body. But today, he was really showing his age. The drones we based on his data were being taken down at a faster rate now compared to when the war began. When Mihai found that out, he insisted on flying to the front lines to see it for himself. Sometimes he could be so stubborn. His age wasn't the only thing affecting his health. Over the years, flying at high altitudes for prolonged stretches of time had ravaged and poisoned his body. But he was a man of grit. Today, after 28 years, he saw combat again. If his flight suit still wasn't good enough to protect him, I can't imagine how many G's he hit today during the battle. As a pilot, he exceeds all our expectations. It's going to take a bit more tweaking before our drones can match his skill.
How penal is this penal unit, you ask? This place is a shithole. If you took the stink of all the corruption in the world, then corralled it all in one place, that would give you a pretty good idea of what the air smells like around here. We got all kinds of critters, too. Everything from flea-ridden guards, rabid dogs, and a mechanic doing a stretch for life. I can't forget the rats. Yeah, we got those. And some pilots who got their wings clipped, too. One's a great pilot, but a lousy thief. One's a gambler with no luck. And one's an anarchist with no balls. Their job here was to rev the engines on the fake runways. The idea was for Erusia's spy satellite to pick up the heat sig. Even though there weren't any real fighters here, it looked like it on their infrared. I bet you're wondering, if Erusia lost the war, how come they still have a spy satellite? Because someone over there was smart enough to train a bunch of computer nerds to hack into half of Osia's satellites. That's how come. Every now and again, I'd try to bust out. And every single time, those damn dogs would drag me right back. When I was in my cell, I'd hear this voice coming from the guards room. It was the Erusian princess rallying her people on the Erusian national broadcast. All us prisoners had become big fans of hers. You want to hear something funny? The guards were big fans too. I swear to God, every time she was on the air, they'd turn up the volume on the radio and sit there listening. I could see how someone like her could win the hearts and minds of soldiers and workers alike. When the princess said something, you could tell she meant every word. Lately, she'd been having more fun with her speeches, and that made her seem even more charming. You could say her charm was like a virus. Whenever she'd point out stuff that was wrong with Osia, the prisoners in here went nuts. Hell, if anyone knew how messed up Osia was, it was the prisoners. They'd shout, "Burn Osia down." No way am I just gonna sit here and rot away in this hellhole. Dark blue. Instead of building fake-ass planes to trick Erusia, I'm gonna build one that'll really take off. You can count on that.
何も話聞いてなかったわ。おじいちゃんしか入ってこないんですよ。東大守り余裕や。
As proved by the failure of our previous strategy, the Arsenal birds have bolstered the enemy's anti-air network. This will be difficult to overcome. However, we still need to get swiftly to the space elevator no matter what it takes. Someone there is counting on us. The hero of the Circum-Pacific War and the man who spearheaded the construction of the space elevator. Osia's former president, Mr. Harling. Mr. Harling was inspecting the elevator when the war broke out. He's been classified as missing since the elevator was taken over by the Erusian forces. However, according to the latest intel, a military officer accompanying Mr. Harling hid him inside the facility. Both are waiting for a chance to escape. Enemy anti-air radar network has been set up around the space elevator. It's likely a large squadron would be detected. We will send a single aircraft through the network and send in a rescue team soon after. A number of anti-air radars have been set up around the space elevator. However, our reconnaissance suggests their network is weakest along the southeastern coast of Selatapura, so we can elude the enemy's observation. There are a lot of rain clouds this time of year. Flying through the clouds will enable us to stay hidden from their radar. If you happen to be detected by their radar, we will be forced to abort the mission. The lone pilot who will head up this strategy is you, Trigger. After you bust through, secure the rescue craft's landing zone by taking out the anti-air weapons. Gollum and others will arrive shortly for support. Provide escort for Mr. Harling's craft after rendezvous. Good luck out there, everyone.
全然一話聞いてなかったが、まあとりあえず何どれが殺せばいいってこと？まあいいや。カスタム何か10万5000もかかんの俺半端な。それこっちをすればいいってことか。使いたいな。かっけー。やば。絶対かっこいい。
Aircraft preparations complete. Sortie ASAP.
Entering operation area. Imposing radio silence. We'll radio you, but you are not permitted to make contact.
If you're spotted, the mission is over. Stay out of enemy radar. Use of weaponry is also strictly forbidden. Okay, you're heading up the Harling rescue mission. The success of this mission depends on you. Good luck.
そうでしょ。装備パーツ強くするってことかな。これわちゃ買っちゃったな。かっこよすぎたこれ。 か。
Careful of ice formation in the clouds. Trigger, you're a third of the way to the rendezvous point. Good job, but stay focused.
そう買ってなくても一つするっていうか、それつけた方がいい。あ、買わなくてもついてんだ、1個。これはミスタンコーだわ。ってことは別にそれ使えば、あまり使わない。
Trigger, you got two directions you can take up here. Just go with your gut. Don't worry, we're watching over you.
そういうことで。
Progress, Trigger. You're currently halfway to your rendezvous point. Look, I'm not gonna lie. It's just gonna be you and your radar out there. Just know, you got a bunch of people pulling for you. And I'm one of them.
Do we have bandits? Tell me the situation. No problem. Stay alert.
You're 3/4 of the way. Been a long fight, but you're nearly home. Harling is still the president in my eyes. He ended the war, built the space elevator, and launched a spaceship from it. Despite his success, he remained a humble hero. I'll do my best to save him. Lend me a hand, Trigger. Rendezvous point dead ahead. Hang in there.
We're on high alert. Set up interceptors on the double. We're watching. It's probably just a bug. Situation normal. Nothing sighted.
Trigger, the first stage of the mission is clear. Don't celebrate yet. The real fight's about to get started. Radio silence is now lifted. The auxiliary craft will be arriving shortly. Destroy the anti-air around the space elevator. We're securing Sea Goblin's landing zone. Page 2, target destroyed.
Yeah.
Missile closing. Evade. Target destruction confirmed. You're being locked onto. Page 2, locked. Page 2, target down.
Trigger, sorry about the wait. Cavalry's here. Column Squadron. Trigger jumped through the fire. Now it's our turn. Understood.
Gargoyle Squadron, stay focused. You all know your job.
All aircraft, eliminate the enemy before they can respond. Sea Goblin will arrive shortly. Eliminate hostile anti-air before then. Half of the anti-air guns down. Nicely done.
This is Seagull. We've arrived. Do we have a clear LZ?
Mission still in progress. Stand by. Break! Missile incoming! Mage 2, rescue team can't land until anti-air weapons are down. Destroy them. Mage 2, locked. Half of the SAM sites are down. All SAM sites down. There are still AA guns. Destroy them and secure the LZ. Targeting gun range. All anti-air guns destroyed. The landing zone is secure. Sea Goblin, we're clear to land.
Roger. Running the wing site. We're almost there.
Multiple bandits over Selatapura Harbor. They're container-launched UAVs.
Seagull, going up to meet our 2 typings.
Rescue craft tagged on. Initiate.
Rescue craft on the ground is defenseless. Gollum and Mage, destroy all hostiles.
It's been a long journey, but you're on the home stretch.
Gargoyle will stand by near the space elevator.
Sea Goblin, heading over to the Express's location now. Run for the container! They have a lock on you, shake 'em!
Approaching the space elevator. Stop them.
It's chow time. Return fire! Sierra 2, hold position! We're cut off! Taking fire! We're pinned down! Shoot back!
There's too many. We can't take all of them.
Express identified! Behind the gantry crane! Mr. Harlan, stay right there! Jacob's been hit! Incoming rocket!
Sea Goblin, all survivors, respond. Is Mr. Harling alive?
Yeah, they must have destroyed the target.
Fighting against machines.
They got the chopper and Sierra too! That was thermobaric!
UAVs moving away from the harbor toward the space elevator. Shoot them down.
Shit! Rocket!
やばい。
Eliminate all enemy UAVs. Don't let up.
This is Colonel Johnson. Do you copy? I am with President Hurley. Rescue unit down, along with the soldier who had this radio. Get Mr. Hurley out of here.
Sir, we feel the same way. We'll figure something out. UAVs flying toward the space elevator. Mage, Gollum, get them.
Oh yeah, all mine.
That's about half. Mop up the rest.
We found an Erusian transport craft. Its engines are on.
I heard you were in the Air Force, Colonel. Can you fly?
Better than Mr. Hurley.
Will do.
This is Gollum 3. Landed on my 6. They can't get away.
All squadrons be advised. The call sign is Mother Goose 1. I've sent the information via the data link.
Mother Goose 1? That's the best you can call them?
3 remaining. UAV confirmed down.
This is Mage 1. I'm spiked.
UAV down. Watch out. Enemy has a lock on it.
night.
Fox 2. One remaining.
Missile inbound. Evade. Mage 2 bandit on your 6. You inspire me, Trigger. I learned how to do what these guys are watching you. Break! Missile incoming!
어디까지 하나리를 왜 따르고 있지?
Golem Squadron, let's take it up a notch, okay?
다리 내가 왜? 너ずっとしょっついてるの何? T3 と R3 で振り先るの?
All UAVs have been splashed. All aircraft. Former President Harling's transport is ready to take off.
もう使っちゃってたけどさ
Mother Goose 1, take off.
One taking off.
あっけ
Let's wait till we're home safe. Mage Squadron, Mother Goose 1 is heading south. Provide
ねえ、もう終わっ
support.
たよ嘘
5 minutes remaining.
Skykeeper, bogeys on my radar. Bearing 220.
Sighting confirmed as MQ-101, forerunner for Arsenal Bird.
The big bird is coming, huh?
Mage, protect Mother Goose 1. Shoot down any UAVs. Gollum, intercept the UAVs.
Golem 1 will kill. That last battle taught me a lot about those a-holes. Golem 2, don't stray off on me. Always maintain element. Wilco, forming up.
Mage 2, walking.
Roger. Set UAVs at the transport. Orders are to fire warnings. Yes, sir. He's an old-timer. Has no clue how UAVs are used.
Mother Goose 1, UAV on your tail. Take evasive action.
I hear you. But this isn't exactly a fighter.
What?
Understood. An Arsenal Bird is on its way. Strategic AI chose liberty over justice. Courses have already changed. I got it. It's fine. Missile headed for friendly.
Cargo 1, where's the signal? Gargoyle Squadron, stand by for my order. Someone's on the lighthouse. Died in the harbor. They won't be able to get home. That ship isn't one of ours. Where's the signal? Gargoyle, change radio frequency.
보자잖아. 키츠.
Chronicles 1 here. Leave the airspace. Keep your fingers crossed.
Gargoyle, it's time. Attention, Gargoyle Squadron, Babel.
Gargoyle 3 to Babel. Babel, roger. Skykeeper, what the hell was that?
Gargoyle did their job.
Target lock. Thank you, but why weren't we informed? The IUN can't coordinate between branches as usual. Gargoyle Squadron, report.
HQ, one hit was scored. Less leadership is like UAV.
Break hard!
The elevator's windbreak took a scratch. Nothing more.
Roger. Continue to maintain air superiority.
Mother Goose 1 hit. Mother Goose 1 has been hit. Colonel Johnson, respond. Aid Squadron, assess the situation.
This is Mage 1. I have Mother Goose 1 in my sight. Cabin's fine, but the cockpit's not looking so good.
Colonel Johnson, are you okay?
Just send help this way. I'm sorry. Get Mr. Harling. Please.
Mother Goose 1, respond. Mother Goose 1.
Sky King, should we continue providing cover for Mother Goose 1?
Of course.
Lockdown hostile. Following me, eh?
Mother Goose 1 is turning. What's going on? They're heading to the space elevator.
Why are they still in the air?
It's flying at a steady altitude. Who's in control?
It's not the Colonel. Mr. Harling's the only one on board. Mother Goose 1, respond. Mr. Harling, please respond.
We can't protect our objective if it sticks around here. Now's not the time to freak out, fellas. We've still got a job to do, so let's do it. Keep your mind focused.
Mr. Harling, we are not giving up on you.
Going to, on your say.
UAVs are approaching Mother Goose 1.
Let's go, Trigger.
Take them down now, Mage Squadron. 1 minute remaining. Mother Goose 1, turn 180 degrees and exit combat airspace. Mother Goose 1.
Oh my god, Mother Goose 1 has been shot down.
Where'd the missile come from?
Mage 2 fired that.
It was Ocean. A friendly missile hit him.
Verifying the situation. Stop speculating.
Friendly fire. I saw it.
Mother Goose 1 exploded in air. No one could have survived.
Looks like it tried to protect the elevator. Erusian bastards, they just killed a hero.
Mage 1. Was it Trigger? Trigger was the closest. UAVs were crawling all over our objective. I told you to keep a goddamn eye on the hatchling. It must have been a mistake.
Arsenal bird is entering. All aircraft withdraw immediately. Trigger, you can't fly for a while. You understand?
The operation to rescue former President Harling has set.
Bad news for us here at the prison. The enemy fell for our decoy base. With all the fake planes and trucks we had out, it must have looked to them like the Ocean Air Force was about to go on the attack. Day after day after day after day, they bombed us. Osia didn't give a damn. We weren't soldiers to them, so go ahead. Bomb us. In their eyes, we were expendable. Worth less than the fake planes in the bunkers. No biggie. While I made fake planes, they had me put together some working ones. Then, some genius at HQ decided we should send it up, so the base looked legit. Thankfully, we had people to crew them. It didn't matter what we were locked up here for anymore. Top brass needed pilots, and criminals were all they had. A crook, a gambler, an anarchist. Just your typical lowlifes. They threw each one of them in a cockpit and sent them up to intercept the enemy's planes. But in the end, it was all just for show. So, up they went, day after day after day. Today they tossed someone new into the mix. Wonder what he did to get sent here. My dad died flying for the Ocean Air Force. When your allies are surrounded, one of the most dangerous missions is giving them cover to retreat. Whoever signed up for that was a real hero. But even more dangerous than that was being the one who had to cover the rear guard's retreat. That was my dad's job, and one time, he called it off. Said it was too late for him. Said anyone else would have done the same. I found that out from a war buddy of his when he came to tell me how my dad died. The next time a retreat happened, my dad volunteered to be in the rear guard. Dumbass. He died all right. No one came to help. The news nearly broke me. Of all the ways to get killed, that's gotta be the most pathetic one ever. Am I right? There's a rumor going around about another inmate. A guy they brought here a little while ago. Get this. Talk in the cell block says he was sent here because he killed Harling, the president of Osea during the last war, remember? He's the one that sent my dad on that suicide mission. He's the reason I had to go live with my grandpa, and why me and Gramps started building a supersonic jet. He's the reason I ended up here. Maybe I should give that guy a thank you note for killing him. Nah. God, I hate the smell of this place. It's all fake and lies and bullshit. It reeks.
All right, guys, I'll let you in on some juicy info. The new guy was found guilty by the International Union Peacekeeping Forces court-martial. He is the murderer of Harling in the flesh. His TAC name's Trigger. Now, as of today, he may be attached to the Ocean Air Force Base 444th Squadron. But that is just some symbolic bullshit. It doesn't really matter if he's Harling's murderer or not. Every last one of you has been incarcerated for one reason or another. You cons have an obligation to atone for your crimes. A few of you in the penal unit know how to fly, and HQ needs to plug the deficit in our Air Force. So they proposed sending you guys on a reconnaissance mission to the Waiapolo Mountains. But that idea was flat out rejected. Nope, you'll be atoning for your crimes right here at this base. This base is a decoy designed to draw enemy fire. And as members of this base, you'll be taking hits from the enemy. This will allow our forces to safely prepare a counterattack.
Incoming!
Switch off that alarm. It's just the usual. I thought Zapland was supposed to be an isolated area. Okay, I'm gonna need a few aircraft to scramble.
Again?
Wonder how many we'll lose today. Better than solitary. Enemy aircraft detected over the dummy runway.
We just need to make it look like we can put up a fight. Some of those piles of junk can at least take off. Let's get the guiltiest cons in the sky first. We'll start with Harling's murderer. We don't expect you to down any bombers. But what we do want is to make them think that we've got an active base here.
お願いします。お疲れ様です。